Hello, families. I am just wanting to go over with you about the new ALP process, so that you can be a little more familiar with it. What is an advanced learning plan? Basically, it entails what learning experiences the teachers will create so that you'll have continued growth in your strength area or for the students. Um, I know it's a little different this year in that it is essential skill focused, but the teachers will know more specifically about what they're going to be doing to support your child in their classroom. Advanced learning plan, through testing, we determined that students think and learn differently, and thusly need to make sure that they are supported and challenged in their areas of strength. It also was established by the Exceptional Children's Educational Act in 1976 here in Colorado, and across the states in different time frames, that mandates all gifted students must have advanced learning plans. The new district ALP process, I like to do the song by David Bowie, Cha-Cha-Cha Changes. Anyhow, the district moved away from having advanced learning plans in Infinite Campus over the summer at the secondary level. They are using School Link's platform to house the ALPs this year. Due to this, charter schools needed a solution. And so due to us being a K-12 school, we're doing the same thing across all the grades, especially because the elementary at the district level is going to be making changes eventually as well. So it didn't make sense for us to do something for elementary and for us to eventually make a change. So we just did it all in one fell swoop. This is something also that the district can view and ensure that we have completed for compliance purposes. And it's free. So I like the free part. In summation, ALPs will not be an Infinite Campus this year. The ALPs are now a Google document that students are the keepers of, which is not always a good thing, as you'll see. The new ALP process in the fall, basically like the first week of school, students selected what class content comes easier for them or that they enjoy to focus on for their ALP. We did that through the in-house fall ALP interest form. And then students completed the district ALP Google form over the last few weeks, which then auto-populated their ALP document using Autocrat extension. So if you notice there are any spelling errors and such, it is probably likely due to that. And that's a great opportunity for you to sit down with your child and help them with those. I was doing broad strokes and making sure that the details were done, but not those details, but just that the ALPs were complete, but didn't look at those details of grammar and punctuation. So you guys get to do that if you so desire. Students then worked with me on completing their academic and affective rubrics, which included the following. They were to select which statements they were secure in often. They highlighted then two statements that they still need to work on for continued growth. And then they created action statements on what they can do for continued growth, doing I can statements and using the rubric as a guide. That was quite laborious for all involved, students and I as well, supporting them through that. At the secondary level, I gave them directions online on how to do that, as well as a video, but we still had friends that needed to have Mrs. Huey work with them on that, which is why I am quite exhausted. ALP should have been shared with you by your child or elementary teacher, but please note that with this new process, Kelly Scott is the keeper. She's our district charter liaison, and will notify you when these have been shared with you. It's one of the fallacies with this new system, and they are currently on fall break. So any requests that have occurred this week or over this weekend won't be done until next week. So in the meantime, you can have your kid look up their ALP through their Google document. And this is how to do this. So your child will log into their Google account. They will go to their Google Drive. Note some high schoolers did their ALP district form with their personal account, so they might have to find that in there. I tried to help them with sharing it to their school account, so it wouldn't be a problem. But if that arises, just note that was an occurrence that happened at the high school level. You'll then go to shared with me on the left side, and you can have them look up at the top their ALP using their last name, first name, and ALP 2526. Note for high schoolers, it says 2025-2026. Why they made a difference in that, I don't know. It's another variable. And then there to look at you can look at the rubrics and their action steps. To do that, you'll look on page 1 in the green section. It'll have my academic goal, and they should have the link embedded in the first paragraph. Below that, in the blue section, you will see some additional links to some information to the other essential skills rubrics, which are things that the teacher could potentially do in the classroom. And then the pink ones are just the rubric templates that the kids use to work off of. Just in case you're wondering if it goes to make a copy, don't worry about those. They should be embedded in that first paragraph under my academic goal. Um, then for the affective goals, like what is they personally need to work on to be more successful, you'll go to page 4 in their ALP document, and then in that first paragraph, you will see a link embedded to their affective goal rubric, and that will include their action steps that they did. So this is a little example. I did Bob the Builder as my example child, and I will show you what the ALP looks like. Click all these things out of the way. So the nice thing is there are some hot links to tabs for the progress monitoring that will occur later in the year. But for now, you can see that what was filled out by the students through their district form. And then you'll see this is where I'm talking about my academic goal. You should have, your child should have a link here. I worked hard on trying to make sure that happened. And it says what their area of focus is at the top. You'll see that they have selected some of the areas that they're secure in. So through the lens of math, this student is working on critical thinking and problem solving, which is great. These are the 21st century skills that the state standards are based on. And so it's a great opportunity for us, instead of having a special project that the kids are going to be doing, but instead it is more essential skill focused on what can they do to be successful in life. I did some framing with some of the kids, as many as I could. And so I noted the objective, which is to develop skills in thinking, learning, and working like a mathematician. And then once they did their self-chose, or I should say, selected which ones they were secure in. So for instance, critical thinking and problem solving in math. They then made action steps using the rubric as a guide. And then same type of thing, trying to get to the tab, but the pop-ups are in my way. For affective, so if you scroll down, you should see different things selected in here. And this is what the teachers had done. And then there's checklists. Don't worry about those being done or not done. The rubrics and the action steps to me were more important. I made sure that the other stuff was done. And then self-advocacy, again, this is what this particular student chose. They selected which ones they are secure in, and then highlighted 2 areas that they need to work on, and then made their action steps. So that is in general the ALP document. There is no signing this year. Basically, if you would like to, once you get viewing rights in this area, I know it says teacher comments, but you can always just note you guys should have commenter rights. If you want to note that you have viewed and gone over the ALP with your student, you can, but there is no signature this year. So just so you're aware of that. Back to this. So I already went over that. So you guys can get an idea of what are the essential skills that the students could have chosen. I did try to guide them in that I felt like there were certain essential skills that aligned with different subjects better. So like mathematics was more critical thinking and problem solving. Writing and art was more creativity, innovation. Inquiry and analysis could be more science related. Information literacy could be language arts or potentially in history class. And then some chose academic informed risk taking, especially for those kiddos who are taking a very challenging class for them this year. And then this was, I know you guys can't probably see this very well, but anyhow, these are the different affective areas that they could have worked on or chosen. It could have been self-awareness, self-advocacy, self-management, etc. I did try to frame with the students, talk to them about if they chose self-management, why is it that they chose self-management? Is it that they need to work on organization and time management? Are they struggling with stress and anxiety or perfectionism? Same with self-awareness. All of these, I tried to help them give a reason why, so that would just give us some framing so that when we're supporting the students, we have a little more context in that. Next, parents, basically just to view the ALP and email teachers if you have any questions. We are all acclimating to this new process. This is a lot of student input as to what they want to focus on, with the teachers supporting them in the classroom to help develop those essential skills within the lens of the subject that they chose to focus on for the year. In addition, the teachers should be aware of reading also their affective and supporting them with those endeavors as well. In addition, depending on needs-based, I might be working with some students that have more significant needs as far as executive function and/or stress and anxiety management, depending on what their needs are and interest. Teachers will be supporting the students in the classroom in their content area. Progress updates will be done by students as well as teachers before winter break and summer break. For secondary students, that will occur 1 to 2 weeks before finals. So they're not stressed out, probably 2 weeks before finals, because it'll take me some time to go through these. So the only thing with this new system is that I have to go into each actual document and make sure that they have been done, which, as you can imagine, is a bit laborious. And then hopes is that this process will become more user-friendly for the students and myself. I know us charter schools are looking at, are there any other options that we could explore to make this process easier, as well as ascertaining what are our requirements for the ALP process. Um, Anyhow, that is the update for now. Again, I appreciate you guys having patience and understanding with this new process, especially as it is an ALP Google document that our district liaison has to approve your access. So thank you for being flexible and trying to go through your child's account in the meantime. And I guess that's it for now. I hope you guys have a great fall break.